Hello everyone, this is Tatiana at the desk at LEMI, and today I am super excited to present to you our newest product, the Founding Documents Journal. We created this journal to be used by scholars to advance their understanding of American founding documents. Right now, the journal consists of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and the amendments. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use this journal in your study of the Declaration of Independence. So this is what the journal looks like, and it is basically the text in a structured order to help you understand the text at a deeper level. So whenever we start a document study, it's always really important that we start with the title so that we understand exactly what we're reading. So if we start at the very beginning, it says, in Congress, July 4th, 1776. Okay, before we go on, it's important to ask ourselves some questions. What does it mean in Congress? Historically, getting the background on a document really helps us to understand a document. So understanding what happened on July 4th, 1776 and what is Congress really is helpful. So before I'd go on, I would need to understand that and go and research that in depth. So I would stop here and I would go research if I didn't already know. But because I do know, then we're just going to keep going. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. So the next thing I'm going to do is ask myself some really hard questions, like what does the word unanimous mean? What does the word declaration mean? And why is it that United is not capitalized, but States of America is capitalized? These might seem as pretty small, minuscule details, but they add a lot of insight into the document itself. So the first step whenever I'm doing something is I'm going to stop and I'm going to look up words. I already did that, and this next page you see, I looked up the word unanimous. So unanimous means being one mind, agreeing in opinion or determination. So this is a declaration or a written statement that is coming from a people who are one mind and have one determination. So what we're reading is a statement of unanimity that is presented by the states of America, because at this point they weren't the United States yet. So let's go ahead and keep reading and see what exactly is in this declaration of the states of America. When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth. Okay, so what does it really mean to be course of human events? And what does Jefferson mean when he's saying that a political band, or he's saying that have connected one country to another country, or one people to another people? So I need to look up those words. I need to look up course, and I need to look up political bands, and understand exactly what I'm reading there. For the sake of time, I will just keep going. But the point I'm trying to make is that when you're reading a document, you need to look up all the words that you think you know, and definitely ones you don't know, in order for you to have the depth of understanding that you're looking for. In fact, I would wager to say that if you want to really understand it on a new level, you should look up almost every single word. It can be really, really powerful. Once you've looked up your words and you've defined your words, it's really important to write it in your own words. So basically what we're doing with this process is observing and intaking what we're studying and then putting it out in using the writing process to put it out in our own words so that we literally own the document. So here's what I wrote. There comes a time when a people have to break contact with another and to take their place in the world that is given them by the laws that govern the universe. Us being united in opinion and determination as the United States proclaim this to be the case. So I basically just summarized how I felt the first paragraph was saying. After we've summarized and we've looked up words, the next step is to go in depth and understand the principles that we can find there. This is by far my favorite part of the process. This is where we get to go really deep and ask ourselves some really hard questions Here are some of the principles that I found. There is a course in human events denoting that history repeats itself. I think that's so powerful to think about how there's a cycle in history, or maybe it's not a cycle, but it might be, that because of the nature of man, we're continually coming up upon repeating ourselves. Another principle I found is that there are laws that govern nature, then they also govern man. I think that is so powerful to think about, that there are things that are not arbitrary, that they're universal, and they exist whether we choose to acknowledge them or not. And then at the end, one of the principles I found is, I love how Jefferson not only uses natural law but divine law to be higher than the king and the laws of man. I think this is a really powerful point that Jefferson brings up, is that the king is not God, and or is not the universe, and cannot govern us if he violates these laws, which are, divine in nature. So that's basically how to study the Declaration of Independence on a deeper level. And we invite you at LEMI to check out our other videos and figure out, how exactly you can figure out what LEMI does and become part of the LEMI community. And we want to thank you for spending your time learning about how to understand the Declaration of Independence on a deeper level. And check out more of our videos.